Hello guys, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Busy day today. Yeah, let's take a look at the market again in this session. It's something that we are doing. Hopefully you can join as well and take advantage of it. So basically we are looking for the best opportunities for tomorrow. For tomorrow's session, we are doing the pre-market analysis, something that every trader should do. And some people they may do it in the evening, some people may do it straight away in the morning before the market open. It depends, but it's important to do it so you are aware of what opportunities you are going to be looking for. You can start visualizing the opportunities. You can set up alerts so you don't miss them. You can start creating your own bias as well. Right? And you can avoid also some silly mistakes or silly trades just by taking trades in the wrong spot just because you didn't even do your analysis beforehand. So if you do have that routine, feel free to join. Usually lasts around 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Feel free to recommend any asset that you want us to analyze together, and we can go from here. So dollar index, right? So we had the push to downside. So we basically went a little bit to the upside. You managed to fake out these highs in here. So you did manage to fake out slightly those highs, and all of a sudden price just moved to downside. What's up, Bongani? How are you, man? So that's a clue in there. We did manage to break above the structure. There is a decision point in there. That's where I will have this white line in the lower time frame. But in the bigger picture, we did manage to take these highs, which means that price does want to go higher. That's the way I'm reading this. Is that price does it showed indication that it wanted to go higher. After that, it just started to move down. Why? Because we actually before that had already taken the lows in here. So that's a typical move that happens. I was actually looking for price to retest this level and then look for that save actually then the longs in this case on the euro and so on, but price just never really retraced. It just continued to move lower, and typical opportunity could have been price to take this level, go there and then push forward, but it didn't, just in there move straight away down. And we also now broke this flow as well. So basically at this point we have two breaks of structure, one to the upside showing indication that price wants to go higher, and we have another one in here showing indication that maybe price wants to actually maybe go lower first before maybe moving to the upside. So we'll see tomorrow morning how price may react from here. So today we had PMI services and manufacturing as well. Services was good. Manufacturing, I think it was below the expectation. In the Eurozone as well, quite similar. UK as well. So price didn't really reacted as much as it used to a few months ago. But there was a little bit of a reaction in there. Tomorrow we're going to have GDP in the UK, in the US. Unemployment claims as well, and then on Friday is going to be core PCE. And the indices are just crashing, like the earnings doesn't been that good. And today it's another negative day. 3.63, Nasdaq doesn't stop moving to the downside. S&P doesn't stop neither. So that's basically what we predicted yesterday as well. We'll look at the indices in a bit. So for tomorrow, just curious to see how price may react from here. The break of this low in here may open the door a little bit that price can actually go there, but otherwise price still looking or start looking to go somewhere towards that direction. And in here, that's basically somewhere in here that price can use one of these supply levels and push to downside. Again, it's going to depend on the approach as well, how dollar eventually is going to move towards there overnight. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. There is a good recovery now this evening, basically in the last hour or so. Can you take that pattern as head and shoulder? Which pattern? Sorry. This. Wait a second. Like this pattern. So the head and shoulder, like the typical head and shoulder, something like this, right? Neckline, whatever it may be. So I trade the quasi mode, which is similar to head and shoulder. It's a bit more complex, it's slightly different, but it's basically similar. We're always looking for that neckline and stuff like that. Like that's always the pattern. The pattern that you're looking for. You're looking at all this. What, all of this move? Or all of this move? In here I could look at it as a level to look for potential shorts. Yes, I could do that. Price did manage to break below that low, so I could see price tomorrow reacting. The bigger one, you mean this one? Like something like this. That's what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly something to look at. Like we have this range. Yep, we had the head, we saw it, and we have, this is the first basically break of a little bit of a high in there to look, and that's basically a little bit of the confirmation that maybe price does want to go slightly higher. And in terms of entries, it may depend where do you want to participate on it. There are a few levels that you can look for. You can even look there, you can look there. As soon as price fix out this level as well, sometimes there's an entry in there. So this is basically now what we'll be calling a zone 2 type of a move, is the level in here, whatever price makes, or the way price is going to move in here before potentially going higher in there, right? So there are many ways to trade this. In here being one of them, of course, the head itself. But yeah, so dollar, we'll see how price may react from there. If it continues to push a little bit more to the downside, or which high is going to respect first, or which break, this one or that one in there. And yes, I do like the potential of price still respecting this level. The indices, right? So again, I mentioned yesterday that maybe there was still the chance that price moving is still in yesterday's session with the earnings that will be announced on the Tesla, I think Alphabet as well, and Tesla completely missed on the earnings, I think for the 4th quarter in a row, and because of that, basically at this point is trading at minus 11% for today's session. And there you go, right? Just resumed to the downside. Unfortunately for me, it didn't really reacted from the level I was looking a bit more, so it reacted basically just from the lower edge in there. It's okay, there's kind of that level in there. I was looking a little bit more to the upside, it never really got there. We did cover that. We did have this compression, this trend line, and eventually there we go, like just gap to downside. It filled the target that you're looking for, so initially we're looking at least for price to go somewhere in there. So that move, it was done, right? That was one of the bias why we're looking for shorts, or still bias to the short side. And now it broke that level, or it touched the level, it even broke the level, right? So you're opening the door now for price to go slowly even lower in here. So we just literally managed to break this major low. That was basically the last low that made price go all the way to the upside. In reality, this low was already basically broken even before that. And now we are looking to see if there's going to be some kind of reaction from this demand zone. If not there, again, this could be a potential level maybe tomorrow a little bit, but the way price is moving is being so weak, there's even the chance that we'll see when it's going to stop this, because S&P can actually move much further down in here, right? Just comparing with the previous low, like this previous move in here, price dropped basically 6% in here, and now in here, 1 second, and now in here we are still kind of halfway through, like 4%. On Nasdaq already dropped 7% just from the highs now, and it is much quicker than this move in here. So yes, this level looks good. To be honest, maybe we can have a little bit of a reaction from there, recovered. Down we have, after that, we do have straight away this level in there that can continue to push the price to the downside. So that's something to be aware of as well. And of course, you do have this level as well that can be used even as a trend continuation, or maybe it was already used, right? This previous demand zone that basically price broke it, didn't respect it, or it respected just a little bit, and then price moved down. So somewhere in here can also be a level where S&P can react and push a bit more to the downside once again, or sorry, eventually can go into there. Yes, as I mentioned, at this point you are getting into this interesting demand zone, and then yeah, then you can just go even further down and start looking for the S&P to go much lower in here, so into this dynamic in here basically. So we'll see what's going to happen in here on the S&P, to be honest, but it doesn't look good at this point. It's quite weak. Hey hacker, don't you have a breakout there? Where? In here, kind of breakout this low? Is BO breakout? Is that what you mean? Yeah, breakout. Yeah, we just broke these lows, right? What do you want to do with the breakout? Do you want to look for a continuation? Do you want to look for this? Is this the breakout that you're looking for? Or is this the breakout that you're looking for? Yeah, definitely. That's one of the opportunities that can happen tomorrow. Just be aware that we have this demand zone immediately straight after that, right? So a potential move in here could be just react from here and just to this level, right? Basically, we can have a trade which direction, in either direction here. So maybe actually the sell could already be done towards this demand zone. Maybe there's a little bit of reaction from this demand zone towards there, and maybe price can resume, or price can go a little bit deeper into there. In terms of the breakout, if you want to be a bit more specific, you can actually see if price already touched it on the way down or not. Because sometimes if you just look at 1 hour time frame, yeah, it looks like that maybe that supply level is still fresh in the moment to the breakout. So maybe there is a high probability that maybe that this level, that this level in here is still going to be respected somewhere in there. But if you do then look into the lower time frame, maybe there's already reaction from it. So as you can see, basically this week in here, basically we have this attempt to respect that demand zone. Price goes higher, it just gets kind of rejected straight away, so price breaks it eventually, and you have basically this decision point. But you start having these weeks in here, so those weeks already reacted from basically the breakout, to be honest, leaving this level in here now as this level. Otherwise price goes higher. But yeah, that week in there basically takes a little bit the orders from the breakout in here. Unless you want to be precise and you don't want to look for that one, yeah, that's basically where price can maybe react from. But this is if you want to be specific, and sometimes you do need to be specific to actually make sure that the orders are still left behind there, or if the orders had already been taken on the way down. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen somewhere in here. But yes, this can be a potential level to look for. And the target so far is just that demand zone in there. That would be the target, the first one. Breaking that level, then it starts looking lower. Yeah. So that's S&P. Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq is even worse, as you can see, in terms of the move to downside. Basically, it already moved down. Yeah, we're already 8% so far. Not even in April, it dropped so much. March, April, it dropped like 7% in here. No, it actually dropped 8% as well. Yeah, it just took much longer to do that. And at this point, there's more room to the downside, right? So we do have a little bit of this demand zone. For me, it's nothing really important in there. I'm actually looking for price to get closer to this level, to be honest. In here, we can range again. We can go retest this level in there. We definitely can do that. So that's a continuation in here to pay attention in here in the future. As you can see, price basically already reacted from it. So actually the level is the one above it. Yeah, okay, we'll get down in a bit. 1 second. Yeah, so we continue. Like yesterday we talked about it, that Nasdaq in this case, it was still holding this level. And I was actually looking for price to maybe get closer to that supply again, kind of this level in here. Fake out that level, but it didn't with the news, with the earnings. Basically, price just gapped to the downside. At the other level, it would be above it, but there was no need to even to go there since price was still respecting this level in there. Yeah, it's just moving down. It's just moving down, and yeah, that was a signal. That was a signal, right? So that was exactly the same situation that it happened when it created the bottom in 2022. So that's something that, yeah, that's exactly the same one in here on the 13th of October. It's exactly the same. It was the CPI. It was good news, and price actually reacted negatively to it. So that's straight away a signal that something is off in the market. Just the way price actually closed for that day. After that is just zone 2 type of a move and price moving lower. Yeah, I'm looking for price to go lower at this point. Looking for price to go closer maybe to this one of these levels. In here, it looks like a nice zone to maybe bounce. We need weakness. At this point, there's absolutely weakness. I mean, strength in this case. We need to see a little bit of strength from the buyers to show their hand in here. At this point, there's no buyers. Basically, price is just crashing. So yeah, anyone interested in trading trend continuation setups in here, go ahead. For anyone that is looking for reversals, just wait a second. There's no need to rush into it. Dow, yeah, Dow, I'm a Dow. That's right. Yeah, Dow just continues now. So key level, it was a key level in here, which is the level that is basically in alignment with the break of this structure to the upside. We had that push up, and now price is basically now managing to go down, right? So one of two things that was happening here: the price holds and tries to resume to push up to the upside, or price eventually just breaks and you start moving lower, and maybe can feel some of this price in here. So that's what we may have. Again, we do have a little bit of a zone in there that actually managed to push price higher and broke these highs. So that's actually the demand zone. That's actually the demand zone that managed to break these previous all-time highs. So that's maybe a level to consider a little bit. But after that we can go to 39. Yeah, somewhere in here. And if you do break below that level, okay, that opens the space for price to go much further down. Much further down. Then we are looking in here. Yeah. So those would be maybe a reaction from there. Then looking for something in here, and then yeah, then you're looking basically to this value in here. There is this price still available as well, but then you're looking somewhere lower. In there. What are you looking on the Dow? Hacker. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, mate. What's your bias in here? What do you want to see? In terms of looking still for sales, if price by any chance retraces, maybe this level in here is still okay. Maybe that level was left behind. We have this week in here. Maybe some reaction from that could happen as well. Yeah, of course, the zones above can also be interesting. Yeah, at this point, again, I'm a counter trend trader. And at this point, I'm not really interested in looking for any counter trend trades in here. I was in there. Unfortunately for me, price didn't retrace after taking the level. I was looking for price to do this and drop. It didn't, just drop, and all of a sudden, yeah, then all of a sudden it was kind of far away already from the entry. I ended up missing that short. So Yep, not interested at this point in anything in here. Yeah, working for sales. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, price fake out this level. So this was a nice one, kind of a good pattern, typical pattern actually to as a continuation setup. Right, price needs to create some kind of liquidity as well as a continuation. Like we do have kind of that same pattern as a reversal, and we need to understand which one is which basically, or when this pattern is being created as a continuation or as a reversal. So yeah, we do need to be aware of that. But yeah, this one which we cleaned that level, broke the low, and then yeah, good move to the downside, and then just respects the lower edge of that level in here. But yeah, I'm not really going to be doing anything on the in here. Yep, the indices I'm going to just pass them. Not interested. Even if it's just a small trading here, it's not exactly what I'm going to be looking for in there. Crypto, yeah, starting to move a little bit more to the downside. Didn't really reach my level. Bitcoin as well. Yeah, someone is still going slightly low, higher. We fake out that level. Yeah, I don't really want anything from here neither. So let's take a look into the FX. So euro dollar, or euro index in this case. Right? So basically last week we predicted that move when you start anticipating what to expect from the ECB. We looked at the euro index, we saw the high, we wanted to see this high being faked out. Then you had a double top, even better, start breaking lows, and then you had the fake out, right? So that was one of the things that you wanted to see. Price started to move to the downside, and then yeah, then the question was what would happen in here. And apparently price did manage to hold it, and today it was just literally a move to the downside. It filled the space, basically it filled out the space until here. So this is a typical target that we should aim for when you do have this turn. It's basically to fill out the compression where this started. Again, this is a great example of zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Basically zone 1 is in here when you created the bottom, zone 2 is in here when you created kind of then the PA to have finally the confirmation that price wants to go higher. There's a little bit of manipulation here and there that we can see. There are different types of opportunities that you can look for. There is this entry, there is the entry in alignment with this level, and then there is the entry in alignment with these highs after you break that level that you can look for longs. Exactly respected almost all of them. Then you have the momentum, so you should be expecting a momentum setup or some momentum on price action on price after the zone 2 is completed. That separates basically zone 2 into zone 3. Zone 3 is a completely different type of price action. Zone 3 is compression. Okay, so it offers a completely different type of opportunities in here, because this is compression. In this moment, both buyers and sellers can participate in the market. It's about having the right expectations on the targets that we should be looking for and what type of entries you should aim for as well. It's a bit confused. Many people are going to be manipulated in here with the fake out double tops and stuff like that. The buyers are going to get frustrated because they're expecting price to just skyrocket, and all of a sudden price is going to retest their zone of entry. So yeah, that's what we're expecting. But this separation in here, usually there's actually this low that fakes out a low and then initiates the zone 3, also in alignment with the break of an important structure in there. This is actually a great textbook of a zone 3 type of a move, of a full cycle, actually zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and then until finally we start having a potential zone 4, which is the turn, right? And eventually there's the risk that we are going to think that we are already in a zone 4 when you have a big move to downside. So you may think that this is already the high, but maybe it's not. Maybe still part of the zone 3 is basically just the end of zone 3, that then you can use it as liquidity, and all of a sudden starts zone 4, and then all of a sudden starts zone 2, and we fill the range for the target in here. So taking this trade in here on this side is basically, again, it depends what type of trader are you. If you are a trend continuation setup, maybe your entry is going to be somewhere in here, momentum, and then something in here. If you are a reversal trader, you are looking for something in here, and in there, and in here as well. So yeah, it depends on what you are looking for in here. I'll do a session, I'll do a video explaining a little bit more, but this is a great example actually on the euro index. So there you go, price just went all the way through, and then at this point, not really expecting much price to hold in here, because there's already kind of a break in there, and you can actually maybe feel this range in here, this gap, sorry, that's in there, and you can start aiming a bit lower. But yeah, we may have a little bit of some some reaction from this low in there. So great move on the euro index, and you'll see there's maybe a little bit more room to the downside in here. And the yen index, what can we say, right? It's just momentum, just breaking absolutely everything. I mentioned yesterday that I was starting to pay attention to potential reversals on the yen pairs. There was no PI for it, so price was just continuing the momentum. So yep, again, as a counter trend trader, you need to find those signals that actually tells you that price is about to turn. Otherwise, just stay away from it. Otherwise, it's going to be a day full of losses. It was in the past. Now I have kind of more rules, more patient, and so on to actually stay away from it. So it's just waiting for weakness. This level is not bad, where actually price is reacting. It's a left shoulder in here as well. So we have these left shoulders in there, and you have a little bit of this structure. So this is not bad level where yen index is reacting from. We can still go higher, definitely. Can even go there eventually. For now, we can maybe react just from something in there, just a move down from here, and then we'll see what's going to happen. And actually, most of the yen pairs are now getting into a good level as well to potentially look for turns. So that's going to be an interesting day tomorrow on the yen pairs. Dollar yen actually is finally at a good level, in my opinion, to potentially look for longs as well. So that's going to be interesting. So let's see what kind of PA you're going to have in here. Initial range at this point is just to trade this level, nothing else, just to trade from here to there. And you need to be aware that price may just react from here somewhere in there and can already resume the move upwards. We do left now this basically supply level. We can even fake out something in here. We have this left shoulder in there as well. So those are a few levels in here that you can see yen index to react from, and then we'll take a look at the individual yen pairs to see if they go in alignment or not with it. But for now, this is the range that we are going to be trading in here on the yen pairs. So yep, that's going to be what I'm going to be paying attention tomorrow. In there. Yep, that's going to be interesting. All right, so now the individual currency pairs, right? So euro dollar, there you go, reaction, it went down. So it's perfect PA. Actually, just before the news, it actually managed to break the high in here. So that was one of the first clues, then just momentum down. And it was in between this level, it was basically one of the levels in there that was maybe a little bit fresh. And it's a daily time frame level as well. So on the day, it's a little bit of a reaction in there. So basically separates this in two levels, between one in here, compression in there, or whatever is going on in here. So we'll see. It's the same thing with the dollar index, where if this level holds, then price maybe can continue to go higher in here, or we may have a new fake out in there. This basically, this high on the euro, it went all the way in there. It's not my favorite at this point, to be honest, just because this is not the strongest level. I could still see eventually euro actually taking these lows. From here, there's maybe something in there to that price can still react from. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. It's nice that price never really reacted from this level. So if price had reacted from this level, it would be a bit more bearish. So we still have that level behind. So that's a level that price can easily go and navigate towards to. There's a big difference at this point between the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Pound dollar went all the way through test, basically the open on Monday. So it already reacted from that level. Euro dollar, it's nowhere near close that level. All right. So euro dollar is just almost reacting from the support resistance in here, but it's nowhere near basically the week open, which pound dollar actually went all the way and reacted from it with today's highs. So that's a little bit of a difference in here. There's a bit more room than that potentially euro dollar can fill in there, but it can also be just a continuation to the downside in there. So we'll see what's going to happen at this point in here. Yeah, this, in my opinion, is not the strongest level. It's maybe just a zone price to react from, and then eventually resume the move to the downside in there. Pound dollar, this is what I mentioned. Basically, it reacted from the high that created basically the high of the week. It reacted perfectly from there. This high has never reacted from it, and it went there today. the low, it was the level that we were anticipating, right? It was this fresh demand zones. You wanted to see how this been taken and price to react from that demand zone. So that's a good level, opposite to the euro, which for me it's not the best level that you could find. On the pound, it was not bad in there. So that's exactly what we were looking for. And I'm curious to see how the pound is going to still react from here. I would have preferred to have seen actually this high being taken to give me a bit more of a bullish sign in here. Yeah, since we didn't really have that, this can still just be a continuation to the downside in here on the pound dollar. So again, this is now the moment where it's a bit tricky. All right, this is the moment that price can manipulate up and down. So we'll see by the London tomorrow, London Open, where price is going to be at. Eventually, I'm still expecting a zone 2 type of a move in here. So just whatever I showed before on the euro index, I'm expecting eventually pound dollar to get closer to some of this range. We did manage to break below these lows, so let's see if we do have a new low in there or not, or price will just start eventually getting somewhere closer to this level for a potential continuation to the downside, again depending on where this low is going to be reacting from. But yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen in there. But yeah, this is maybe still a good level to expect some reaction. I would have preferred if actually this one had broken the high, to be honest. So we'll see. Yep, we have this range in here to pay attention for tomorrow morning. In there, euro pound is actually getting closer as well. So we are there. It's compressing a lot. We did manage to break above this high, so that starts showing a little bit indication that we want to go higher, but we may still go. As I mentioned, there's maybe still a little bit more of a room to the downside. So we may still go pick out something in here before going to the upside. So that's just something to look at, but now we are there, right? So this week, at the beginning of the week, we mentioned that price was about to do this. Basically, price broke this structure, respected level, and there was still this price here available, and now price is spiking from it. So that's going to be an interesting one. Personally, I do prefer to see a new fake out of these lows, getting more into that demand zone on the left side before actually doing something like this. It's a bit more personal. Aussie pairs, that's another one that we have been looking for. I mentioned yesterday that I was looking for a retracement on the Aussie pairs. It happened a little bit. Unfortunately for me, it was way too early, especially the euro Aussie and the pound Aussie. It reached a target and then that was it. That was a trade. This is where it's really important to be able to manage your expectations on the setups. Not every trade is going to be a home run. Not every trade is going to be a 10-1, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's literally just fill the next space and get out. Okay, there is no signs of deep reversals or big reversals in here. It's just retracements, and that was it. So Aussie broke that level, retested that level, and continued to push lower. And the expectation is maybe to actually eventually even take this low, and we'll see what's going to happen in there. Right, again, now is a little bit of a slowing down, a little bit of compression in here until potentially have a little bit of a reversal on the Aussie dollar. And New Zealand is also getting, what is New Zealand? New Zealand is also getting into a closer to a good level. So that was a level that we looked for. We predicted that fake out of that double top into there. Since then, price now is just moving down. In here, this again, zone 1, zone 2, and now zone 3 with the liquidity. And now we'll see if we start having the compression eventually for a potential turn, or if prices won't even go below there, right? But again, setup, all of it is in there. Now we are looking for New Zealand eventually to get closer one of these levels in here. So it retraced today as well, just respected supply level. So we'll see what's going to happen in here. But eventually I'm expecting this low to still be taken. So that can also be a little bit in alignment with Aussie dollar to see when one turns, maybe the other one can turn as well. They are a bit correlated. But aside from that, what you wanted to see is the other Aussie pairs, right? So this was the euro Aussie. There you go. That was the target. That's it. That was the move in the morning. Unfortunately, it's too early. I'm not trading at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, just reached the target and then now not really moving higher. So we did manage to take this highs. Price is reacting from here. It can still go higher. And there's maybe a little bit more room to the upside in here on this euro Aussie, the same way that there's maybe more room to the downside on the Aussie dollar. So we'll see. Again, This is a little bit of a moment that we can start having compression. Again, zone 1, zone 2, we have the momentum, actually now broke this level. So we can start having a little bit of compressions in here until potentially Euro-Aussie gets closer to that high in there. So yep, that's going to be what you're going to be looking for. A little bit of compression. You can even fake out this low one time until price maybe just resumes and to move upwards. Something to bear in mind in here. So, and when we are in this phase, it's a different type of opportunities, different type of trades that you can aim for. It's completely different from here, from what's going to start happening right now in here. So that was Euro-Aussie, Pound Aussie. It was basically the same thing. So now it's a bit with cautious in terms of looking for reversals. Let it go still higher, so we still have more room to the upside in here. So we broke the high. And now it's a continuation. Again, if you are looking for continuation setups, that was the one. Just retest the demand zone and continue. And that will be basically the trade to aim for, because there's still room to the upside in there. There's definitely still room to the upside. Check which levels are fresh in there. Expect some reaction from it, and that price eventually I'm looking for price to even take these highs and get into here. That's where maybe we're going to have a massive or a bigger reversal in there. But before that, again, expecting some kind of compression on the way. Eventually can fill out this space, can come back into this demand zone and then go back again. So those will be a little bit of the type of opportunities that I'll be looking for in here at this point on the Pound Aussie. For anyone that is looking for trend continuation setups, yeah, the easier thing to do it to be just buy it and go, maybe trail stops, whatever it may be. Fortunately, I'm doing the opposite. So that's going to be also something just to track, just keep an eye on until I see some good PI to look for, but it's going to be more intraday setups at this point in here, nothing major of reversals. Aussie start good getting into the end pairs. Aussie Yen, this is going to be one of them, right? So we started to react from this level, basically fill out this space in here as well. And then, yeah, can react from here. It's reacting actually. Attention to some retest of this one of these levels. Then you can even aim to target this low in here as well. And then all of a sudden we are into the new phase as well in there. So we'll see eventually can even go all the way and you target this all this structure. That's maybe the overall level where this Aussie wants to go towards to. But again, we have been bearish for so long that we can be close. We can be close to a retracement in here. Both the Aussie pairs and both the yen pairs, basically, with combined with the Aussie yen as well, moving just to the downside like this, but we may be getting closer to a retrace in here. So we'll see where that's going to happen in here. So, yep, we'll see. And this is now dollar yen. Just missed my level. It's actually reaching the first target, basically. So we basically filled out the space. Right? From the move to downside, from that reversal, we are coming all the way back to the origin of the move, which is basically in here. Right? This is where it started. To go there, we have basically these lows. None of them reacted from that demand zone. Then there's maybe a bit of the extreme in here. But this was a level that I was looking for price to have an initial reaction from. Unfortunately, we kind of missed it a little bit. We started to create a little bit of double lows. That was nice. So we'll see. Maybe price can still create some kind of manipulation with price action there to eventually move like this. This was the initial target to look for at this point. Again, this is not moment for a big reversal. Nowhere near close to think that price is going to do this. Price needs to break highs first. Price needs to show actually strength and clues that actually wants to go much higher. At this point, nothing. This was literally the spice from here to there, and expecting then price to react again, and we'll see what's going to happen within this level in here, being aware that maybe that demand zone is still a little bit underneath. So again, that's another yen pairs for the first time since I looked for the sell at the top, that I'm now looking for a potential reversal in here. I skipped everything in here in between. Now dollar yen is actually getting into an interesting level. Otherwise, you start targeting this low, and yeah, we can then go even much lower in there. So that's one of them. Again, the other yen pair, euro yen. So it took everything in here, and now it's starting to approach this level. Can even go slightly lower. That's not. By the way, I think it's maybe on the daily, weekly. Okay, not exactly. Second. Okay. Yeah, this is another one that eventually you're going to have a reaction. Like, so at this point, it reacted a little bit from there as well. Eventually, can even aim to go lower. Yep, we'll see how price may react from one of these levels. In here, it starts to break slightly some highs, so that's something that starts to happen. So it starts to show a little bit of strength in here, even though we are still in this move down. So yep, we'll see what's going to happen in here if price actually holds. Pay attention to also to the yen index, right? Looking at the yen index can also give a good clue of when maybe we can see something. And also the euro dollar as well. Maybe if the euro starts getting a bit stronger, maybe this euro yen can also follow a little bit the euro yen can maybe follow a little bit the euro dollar. Of course, first level somewhere in there, just to be safe on what to look for. Pound yen. Pound yen is another one. So good reaction now from this demand zone. So initial reaction, again, that's basically a zone that was left behind this demand, and now the reaction from it. Again, initial structure in here. We did manage to start breaking some highs in here as well. So that's a little bit of a sign that price may want to go slightly higher eventually. So that's a good sign. That's what you want to see when price is close to potential. Before even thinking about big reversals, you need to see price breaking highs, and then when it breaks new lows again, it starts showing some weakness until eventually we have the turn. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here on the pound yen. So it's another yen pair. Yep, so yen pairs tomorrow is going to be definitely something to look for. CAD yen can also be the same thing. We had the interest rate decision today on CAD, another rate cut. So it's already reacting from there and can even go slightly lower. So that's something definitely to pay attention as well. And now we are into the CAD pairs. Again, I've been looking for potential sales on the CAD pairs. Dollar CAD is actually now approaching the level that I like the most. So a little bit more into here, right? So we had this high eventually to fake out. Price reacted a little bit from it already, and then it respected this level. Right? So we managed to break a low just before the news. Then price spiked, reacted from that level that we just talked about, but it respected the demand zone in here. Therefore, now the continuation. But it starts to show some weakness in here as well. By breaking structure, and I'm looking for price to get a bit closer into that level for a turn, which maybe can happen tomorrow. So fake out this high, get into there, so that can happen tomorrow. And if not there, then you are looking for price to go, to go even more into that extreme in there. But I think personally, I think there's still a good level somewhere in here that price can react from. Basically, none of these highs reacted from that level. Therefore, something to look for. So that's going to be something to look for tomorrow on the dollar cut as well, which can lead a little bit the dollar to move to the downside. We'll see. So it's somewhere in there. With price already showing a little bit of signs of weakness, and then eventually we can turn again. Dollar cut has been super bullish. It has been really super bullish. This is even a zone on the daily time frame as well. So yeah, tomorrow let's see if we do have PA to look for a trade in there. Yep, that's going to be interesting. EuroCAD continues to be closer to this high, so that's still a level in there that we are looking for. So price to still be reacting from that level. So we managed to fake out that high. I could still see it going a little bit more to the upside. You still have this demand zone fresh in there. Price did manage to respect this structure in here. It's another fake out. Again, we'll see what's going to happen with it. Yes, personally, I would like it to see go slightly higher, still a bit closer to that level in there. So we are starting to slow down. So you can see price is starting after such a big momentum. price now starts to slow down. We still miss a proper break of a low, so we still don't really have any proper break of a low. Even this one respected that one, so we are still missing that part in here to show a bit more weakness and intention that price wants to go lower. Yeah, so eventually we can do that. We can also compress a little bit more out of the way. We have definitely this high now to fake out as well. So this one in there is literally to be faked out eventually. Yep, so that's going to be a good level to take liquidity from, and weighted price goes slightly higher in there. Basically, the zone I'm looking for is a little bit more into here. Yeah, and price is reacting from there. So I want it somewhere closer in there. So we'll see. CAD dollar. No, pound CAD, sorry. Yeah, pound CAD fake out eventually this high. So again, price respected nicely from that level, respected from that left shoulder as well, respected this demand zone. Basically, keep respecting a little bit of these levels, and then eventually gain the momentum. But we are still underneath this high as well. So yeah, maybe we're going to fake out that high, maybe not. We'll see what's going to happen. It's still a little bit of space until we get there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in here. It's kind of missing also a proper break of a low at this point in here on pound CAD, similar to the euro CAD. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen if we do have momentum as well. We'll see. This one was unfortunate. We mentioned that we were looking for a potential sell in here on dollar franc Swiss, but I was looking for price to go a bit more to the upside. Like yesterday I mentioned, now that price was approaching this level, it's maybe in a good moment to look for finally the sell after price spent a lot of time in between. But there you go, it just crashed completely, just moved to downside without really getting into my zone of interest. So I end up missing this opportunity. It is what it is. It failed to trade the target, although it retested these lows. So yeah, it's gone. It's basically gone in here. It would have been a really nice trade. A lot of compression on the way, kind of a lot of manipulation in here, and then yeah, that would have been just an easy sell in there. Unfortunately, this guy didn't really reacted or retraced exactly to the level that I wanted. It is what it is. And gold now, yeah, moving basically, resuming the move down. So we anticipated this turning here. So this the reaction from this demand zone. We're looking for price to get closer to this target, and basically that's where we target. This is basically the separation between this momentum until we start having this compression. There you go. Price just reached that level, and now it's getting momentum in here to the downside. A lot of compression as well on the way up, and at this point, yeah, we'll see how price may still react a little bit from something in there. There's maybe a fresh level in there that price can react from. Otherwise, we can see gold maybe moving a bit more to the downside. So that's going to be a little bit of the level in there. Again, I'm not really interested at this point on gold. Yeah, I was 2 days ago when price was in there, and now kind of just waiting to see if price gets there. Otherwise, just whatever. Price can even go. We already broke that level. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now we are in the middle, basically. So not really anything interesting to look for in terms of high probability. Yeah, oil. Yeah, it just continues within this range. So it was a good reaction from there, but just continues within here. Yeah, nothing interesting neither. It's nowhere near the extreme, and I could still see it going a bit more to downside. Again, Brent already reacted from here, so whenever crude oil reacts from here, maybe you have a reaction, because Brent already reacted from it, and it's basically reacting quite nicely. So we'll see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, don't really want to touch oil neither at this point. That's it, guys. Any further questions? Anything that you're looking for? Just to summarize, I think the end pairs are going to be quite interesting tomorrow. The indices, we'll see if the momentum is going to continue or not. So not going to really focus too much on it. Maybe the S&P can react from that demand zone, and then we'll see. Aussie pairs as well, they've been quite bearish, and that's going to be something also to keep an eye on. But I think there's more room to the downside on the Aussie dollar, upside on the Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie. So careful with that. The CAD pairs, yeah, CAD pairs tomorrow as well. It's going to be interesting as dollar CAD is approaching those highs, and it has been quite bullish. Today we had interest rates, so usually around this kind of news there can be a new cycle. So we'll see what's going to happen. And euro dollar and pound dollar, well, we'll see how price is going to react from today's lows. Did you got that one? Fantastic, man. Yeah, we talked about yesterday, right? So price was reacting still from that supply. There was a risk with the earnings that maybe there could be a gap or something like that. Yeah, there was a gap and then just sold off, right? So S&P also closed the gap, even broke the lows as well. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how strong. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm a bit tired. It's been tired today. I already did my journal, so that's okay. I just want to actually rest in a bit. Yeah, I'm good. Where are you from, man? Where are you? What time is it where you are? And are you still expecting for more sales on Nasdaq? Where is your target? Did you close already? I think there's earnings today as well. Yeah, it basically filled all this price into the next range. Yeah, that was a big sell, man. Big sell off. All right, guys. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for for another one. So I hope you guys have a good night and a good trading day tomorrow. Thank you. And yeah, subscribe and do all that stuff if you are new. I mean a lot. Trying to get to 1K subs. So if you know anyone that is interested in trading, feel free to share as well. All right, thank you. Thank you, Bongani. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.